So if you were to take a look at gaming and how graphics have evolved over time, going all the way back to the NES days, Atari, all the way to present day with the PS5, Xbox Series S and X, and PC, then you'd look at it as a good thing. An evolution for the franchise, graphics getting better and better with each year, more realistic, higher graphic fidelity, better detail in adding to the experience of playing your favourite games. Well, I don't agree at all, because if you ask me, this obsession with graphics, especially nowadays, is doing anything but improving gaming, and in fact, actually harming it. But why do I say that? Why would you complain about such a thing? What, are you just looking for things to complain about? Well, the reason why graphics do more harm than good for gaming is because of a couple of things, really, and it's related to the budget of games, how expensive they are to make nowadays, how long they take to develop, to come out. Because think about it, what is the average development time for a game nowadays? The PS5, late PS4 era, it's usually anything from 5 to 7 years. That's a long time to make a game. But if you go all the way back to, say, PS1, PS2, for example, games took much less time to develop. Usually every 2 years, you'd have a new game in a franchise. I mean, series are still getting games constantly, like Call of Duty every year. We all know about that. But besides a few rare exceptions, for the most part, games take way longer to develop nowadays. A good example of this would be Grand Theft Auto. Back on the PS2, you had a GTA like every 2 years. Look at all the GTA games on PS2. 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Liberty City Stories, Vice City Stories, Chinatown Wars on the bloody PSP or whatever. There were so many GTA games back then. But then when they transitioned over to the Xbox 360, that's when the development time started to increase with each entry. There's only been 2, but look at the pattern. PS2 you had a game like every 2 years, and then GTA 4 comes out in 2008, and after that, we don't get a GTA game for 5 years. And that's all the way back in the late 2000s, early 2010s. Obviously, GTA 6's development time doesn't have anything to do with that. That's more due to Rockstar milking GTA Online, but you get my point. A game like Cyberpunk, wasn't that game in development for like 7 years? Could you imagine a PS2, Xbox 360, anything before that, a game from that time period taking 7 years? That would just be unheard of. So that's what it comes down to. That's why graphics are a bad thing, because that's the reason why these games take so long to come out. It's not like it has anything to do with content. A game like GTA San Andreas had a shitload of content, but it still only took 2 years to develop. So not only are games taking longer to develop and come out, anything from 4 to 7 years, but also the graphics are taking up a huge part of that budget. Games are not cheap to make nowadays, resulting in devs not taking as many risks with new franchises. That's why we don't really get any new games nowadays. It's just a lot of sequels, because there's so much time, so much money invested in these ambitious games coming out with the graphics and all that bullshit, that it's just way too much of an investment, way too much money to potentially waste on taking that risk with a new IP. It's much safer to just stick with a already established IP and make a new game for that, because that way it's gonna sell a lot easier. I mean, if a game came out on the 360 or the PS2 or whatever, and it didn't do that well, it didn't really profit, it was nowhere near as big of a deal as it is now. You've got companies going out of business over stuff like this. So yeah, that's what it comes down to. Because games are so expensive, because the graphics are so demanding and take so long to make, we get way less games, they take way longer to come out, and overall, it just does more harm than good. Are people so obsessed with games being photorealistic that they're willing to wait 5-7 years just for a new game? Because the way I see it, that's just not worth it at all. I mean, yeah, you may look at a game and be like, yeah, you know, those graphics are really beautiful, realistic. But was it really worth it? This game could have took like 2 years if it had like 360 graphics. Yeah, these look nice, but it took so long. It's just not even worth it. But the sad reality is that it is that important to a lot of people, to the majority of gamers. If a game nowadays doesn't have the level of graphics that's to be expected from a game coming out in 2025, then it'll get so much backlash, people will be complaining, a lot of people won't even buy it. You'd be surprised between the lack of tolerance towards graphics than you would with the quality of the game, the content, if it's even a good game or not. People care more about graphics than the important stuff. We've seen it countless times with mediocre games, rushed out, buggy games, just simply shit games that people don't even complain about or criticize just because it has pretty graphics. There's so many games out there. Pretty much every Sony exclusive is that. Just because it has ultra realistic graphics, it's a masterpiece, even though the gameplay is fucking lackluster as shit. If it was up to me, I'd just have games have, say, Xbox 360 graphics. Do you know how many games we would get if that was the case? They'd be coming out fucking constantly. Every year we'd be getting new games, new IPs, new sequels. And then they could put that budget into more important things like the gameplay, like the amount of content. But sadly, that's not the case. They'll put 70% of their budget into the graphics because that's what people glaze over and care about for some reason. But I hope you all enjoyed. Let me know what you think in the comments, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care, everyone, and sayonara.